While residents of Abuja are concerned about the security advisory from the federal government leading to the sudden closure of the Federal Government College Kwali. However, they commend the federal government for taking proactive steps to avoid a repeat of what happened to Chibok girls. Ahmed reports.
Intelligence reports of the possibility of terrorists attacking the Federal Capital Territory had been taken with not much seriousness by residents, who were confident that such an attempt would easily be repelled by the security agencies and the armed forces. But claims of an intelligence report advising parents to come pick their children from boarding schools in Abuja and its vicinity has heightened anxiety among residents.
The Federal Ministry of Education has confirmed it did send out message advising parents of children in unity schools to come pick their children due to prevailing security threats.
The minister said the closure became necessary following security breach on Sheda and Lambata villages, suburb of Kwali Area Council, which also threatened FGC Kwali. He noted that the timely intervention of security agencies saved the situation.
Parents hurriedly rushing to take their children home. This has created a lot of anxiety, not only among affected parents, but residents at large, about how secure the Federal Capital Territory is at present.
If students are asked to go home, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. No parent or parents will want to lose their children. So, and you can see what banditry has cost the nation.
They say a stitch in time saves none. And if government did not tell them now, if anything should happen, people will blame the government. I think it's a best action for now.
Other unity colleges within the country have been asked to liaise with security agencies within their jurisdictions in order to prevent any security breach in the schools. But what is now the fate of students of FGC Kwali who were yet to complete their exams before they were forced to leave school in a hurry? Does this suggest the terrorists may be fulfilling their mantra of Western education is seen by distorting through school's curriculum?
The constant threat to the education system by terrorists is assuming a larger-than-life dimension with the threat of unity schools in the FCT. And if the FCT, the seat of government, is under such threat of attack, how safe is the country at large? Helen Osamede-Akins, TVC News, Abuja.
And in a bid to restore the peace to communities in Plateau, the Special Task Force Operation Safe Haven has trained 165 members of the Civilian Joint Task Force. The training is to improve their roles in community watch and skills and security information gathering in RIYOM Council area. Funam Joshua reports.
In Plateau State have suffered a series of violent and reprisal attacks leading to the wanton destruction of property and loss of lives. Several efforts have been made over the past 10 years by government and non-governmental organizations to find a lasting peace, but once some measures of peace is achieved, recurring conflicts rise up in affected areas. This is one of such efforts initiated by the Commander Sector 6 Forward Operation Base with headquarters in RIYOM Council area. 155 members of the local vigilantes group in RIYOM, drawn from various communities cutting across religious and ethnic persuasions, were successfully trained on military tactics, intelligence gathering, and networking. They are to work closely with the security agencies in monitoring activities of criminal elements and report back accordingly.
The participants were taking on physical training, food drill, weapon handling, lectures on current security situation on RIYOM, Plateau, and Nigeria as large, information gathering, to mention but the few.
The Commander Operation Safe Haven, Major General Ibrahim Ali, says the STF requires a continuous collaboration and support of the locals. He believes that timely sharing of information with the security agencies is key to peace and security in the communities.
It is quite commendable to state that the 165 trainees of the Civilian Joint Task Force passing out today will immensely contribute to local policing efforts in RIYOM. With the excellent drill, combat march, and riot control displayed today, as well as positive reports of your performance on various aspects of your training.
We appreciate all you've done for the people of RIYOM. We appreciate this training you've done for these people, and we believe and hope that we'll put our heads together and ensure that RIYOM sleeps peacefully.
The trainees were reminded of the oath of allegiance to which they swore and warned to be more vigilant and impartial in the discharge of their obligations. Funam Joshua, TVC News, RIYOM.
Elsewhere, to address the national housing gap in Nigeria, the federal government says there's a need for collaborative efforts among critical stakeholders. Director of Planning, Research and Statistics in the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, GWANI, said this during the opening of the technical session of the 11th meeting of the National Council on Land, Housing and Urban Planning in SOKOTO. He says the federal government alone cannot address the national housing deficit, hence the need for private sector collaboration in coming up with practicable solutions. The technical meeting is to review memoranda and fine-tune stakeholders' recommendations ahead of the council meeting of permanent secretaries.
In a bid to further address the housing needs of Nigerians, considering our collective resolve to address the challenges in the housing sector for the overall development of the country within available resources. The theme of the meeting presupposes that the federal government alone cannot address the gap in housing development across the country, which brings to focus the fact that the state governments and the private sectors are critical stakeholders.
Shelter is a basic necessity to every citizen. Such shelter must be affordable, while at the same time meets globally acceptable standards. It is critical to family security, children upbringing, and economic growth. The absence of shelter, therefore, renders the society vulnerable to precarious situations and backwardness.